find out if somebody already has a trademark for something? Let's talk to everybody's favorite IP and entertainment lawyer to find out more.
My name is Tony Iliakostas. I'm an adjunct professor of entertainment law and IP at New York Law School, and I have an Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok account called The IP Professor that is dedicated to all things intellectual property.
Tony, we've been talking a little bit about trademarks here on the platform, and I want to talk about how to find out if somebody else already has a trademark for something we might be wanting to trademark, or just something we want to be cautious of not infringing on anybody else's rights. So is there a process for that? Is there a system for that? What are the steps that we take as a consumer or a creator wanting to not infringe on anyone's rights?
There's a more formal process, and I think there's more of an informal process. The formal process is to use the Trademark Electronic Search System, TESS. That's a very specific search system that is embedded within the USPTO website, uspto.gov. And essentially, this is your opportunity to search for any and every trademark out there. You could type in Nike, all the Nike trademarks will show up. You could type in Starbucks, all the Starbucks results will show up. One thing to bear in mind is that sometimes it might be a little bit complicated to search for certain things like certain articles or prepositions, what have you. So in those circumstances, it does require a little bit of a more advanced like Boolean algorithm type of search. So you could search just plain vanilla, word, but then you could also search for like using certain algorithm markers. So you could search based on owner name, owner address. You could search based on classes of goods and services. You could type in if there has been any assignment. There are a number of different qualifiers that you can use in your search if you wanted to do like a more organic, thorough search. Now, that said, trademark searching is extremely complicated, especially on tests. For whatever reason, you could type in, Nike, and somehow like other search results may infiltrate that have nothing to do with Nike. So that's where you could try, but my recommendation is to always consult with a trademark attorney to help you with the process of searching those types of trademarks. Now, the more simple way, and I think what should operate as an addendum to tests, is to do a Google search. So if let's say you wanted to call your brand, the coffee shop. Let's say you want to start a coffee shop. The coffee shop. Just type in the coffee shop and see what hits come up. If you notice that there's, let's say, a website for an actual brand called the coffee shop, and you notice that it has a TM, a small TM in the corner, that means that that brand is using it as a trademark, but it's unregistered. Now, if you see a circle R, that means that it's registered. And that's the distinction between the little TM and the circle R. Next time you pick up a Coca-Cola can, or when you go to the store and you pick up, let's say, a pair of leggings from Lululemon, or if you even go down the grocery aisle and you pick up a box of, General Mills cereal or something, take a look and see if you can identify a TM or a circle R. The TM, again, means that it's unregistered, but the circle R means that that's an active trademark registration in the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. So even if you were to do a generic Google search and you find a brand that uses the exact same name as the brand name that you want to use, and you notice that they have a circle R, you can't use that trademark unless your registration is going to be in class of goods and services that has nothing to do with that specific brand. So let's say that you want to start a coffee shop called, Dove Coffee. We have Dove chocolate, we have Dove soap. The question is, would Dove Coffee create some level of consumer confusion with the soap brand, the beauty care brand, and or the chocolate brand? Now, Dove chocolate and Dove soap probably have a coexistence agreement in place where they are able to coexist in the same universe and have independent brands that have nothing to do with each other. And that's how we have two different products that share the same name. I also think that there's a world where there isn't a coexistence agreement, where I do think that they were able to pass with flying colors, because I don't think that there is a level of consumer confusion. I mean, if you were talking to a friend and, said, man, I really want, I'm really hungry, I'm going to go grab that Dove bar. I don't think that they're saying they're going to grab that Dove bar of soap. Or if they said, man, I'm dirty, I'm going to wash myself with some Dove. They're not going to wash themselves with chocolate, although that probably would be I'll leave it there. But anyway, all that
That could be something.
all that to say, Dove Coffee, same question has to be asked in that scenario. Would it rise to the level of consumer confusion? So I really cannot stress enough how in this search process and ultimately in this registration process, how important it is to have all your ducks in a row. And that starts with working with a trademark attorney. And I know this is an unpopular opinion, hot take from Professor T here. I'm telling you right now, do not use LegalZoom. Do not use Trademarkia or any of these other like factory type of, actually Trademarkia I think is okay. Trademark Factory I think is the one that's not a good one, but definitely not LegalZoom. Definitely not any of these like legal like warehouses where you just put in the info and it creates an output. There's no real lawyer behind the scenes that would actually help you. I have heard way too many stories of brand owners that use LegalZoom because it's a more cost-effective measure to register a trademark, and they got completely like messed up in the process because they got what's called an office action from the USPTO, which is just basically correspondence that basically told them we can't accept your trademark because it's too descriptive, it's too generic. There's nothing that, or it's going to cause too much consumer confusion, and there's nobody on the other end at LegalZoom that is helping respond to these office actions. So just be so mindful of any of that. Actually work with a living organism. That's my that's my takeaway from something like this with trademarks. If you care about your business and you're already investing a lot of money, time, and effort in making your business really, really worthwhile, I think you could afford the little extra oomph to actually hire a trademark attorney who can help you entirely throughout that process. And trust me, I know a lot of them that are small businesses. And if you're a small business yourself, I think it's important to support small businesses, laterally across the table. So that's my 2 cents on the whole thing. Trademark searches are important, but that begins with working with a good trademark attorney that can help you handhold you through that process and help you get on your way to a trademark registration.
So if you want to jump in and start doing your own research first, this is a great opportunity for you to start looking around and seeing if something could be impactful inside of your business. And then you want to make sure you're doing your research on getting a proper attorney to help handhold you through the process so that you do not have to deal with it on the back end of what you're doing when it doesn't go quite as planned. If you've got upcoming questions on this, go ahead and drop them down below. Tony's coming back for future episodes. We want to make sure we're keeping you legally protected in the entrepreneurial space. So now is the time to let us know what your fears or your concerns or your hesitations are in any side of the entrepreneurial space. We want to make sure that you are legally protected. So drop those down below. And as always, you can reach out to Tony online. Tony, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at the IP Professor. And you can check out my new podcast, NC and Entertainment Law Podcast, every Friday on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
If you have questions on the legal side of entrepreneurship, drop those down below. Tony is coming back for upcoming episodes, and every single day we are dropping new videos to help you navigate the world of social media, building your online business, and making this your most profitable year ever with less time and less stress input. Follow along for more and drop those questions below. We'll see you in the next episode.